and welcome back to another episode of Jeff and Joe's Puerto Rican Kitchen, where we show you how to make easy, authentic Puerto Rican recipes. We are on day 12 of our quarantine series. Yep, I ran out of fingers, so we're going with number 12. And today I am super excited about this recipe, guys. It's been a while since I've been this excited about a recipe, but I had a very special relationship with my great grandma. And one of my just more distinct memories that I have is walking into her house and seeing a blue tin just like this sitting there. And the tin would change from time to time, and it was often a surprise, and it was my favorite when I would open the tin and there would actually be cookies in there, because sometimes I would open the tin and it would be her sewing supplies. So I decided that I wanted to learn to make Danish butter cookies from scratch, and that's what I'm going to be showing you how to make today. So let's get cooking.
Puerto Ricaña, yo te la traigo de Cupey, de Vega Baja y de Santurce, de todas partes de Puerto Rico.
The ingredients for today's recipe include unsalted butter at room temperature, sugar, salt, vanilla extract, 1 egg at room temperature, grated coconut. I will include a link in the video description so you know exactly the coconut that we're using, all-purpose flour, and pure cane sugar for sprinkling. We will be using the stand mixer today. We will begin by creaming the butter and sugar. Add the butter and sugar to the bowl and mix on medium for 1 minute. It is very important that you start with room temperature butter to make this process easier. Scrape down the sides and mix again until the mixture is fluffy, approximately 1 more minute. Add salt, vanilla extract, and egg to the bowl and mix on medium until incorporated. Scrape down the sides as necessary. Now add the grated coconut and mix again until it is well incorporated. Finally, we will add the flour to the mixture. We will do this in thirds. Add 1/3 of the flour to the bowl and mix on low until just incorporated. Add the second third of the flour and mix again on low until just incorporated. Then add the last third of the flour to the bowl and mix on low. Be careful not to overmix as it will affect the consistency of the cookies. The mixture should be soft and fluffy. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. We will be piping these cookies in order to get that perfectly round shape. Prepare 2 piping bags. Start by snipping off the tip of each piping bag just enough to fit your piping tip. Then insert a piping tip to each bag. We're using the Wilton 1M tip for both of these bags. Depending on the size of your piping bag, you could probably fit all of the cookie dough in 1 bag. I am suggesting 2 bags as I find it much easier to pipe when the bags are not as full. Once the bags are ready, then fill each bag with half of the cookie dough. It does not have to be exact. Again, all I'm trying to do is split the mixture so I can have better control when piping the cookies. Once you fill 1 bag, then twist the top of the bag and push the mixture down the bag by adding a bit of pressure to eliminate any air bubbles that might have gotten trapped before piping. Repeat this process with the second bag. This recipe will yield about 30 cookies, so I will be splitting it in 2 baking trays. To begin piping your cookies, take 1 piping bag and 1 11 by 17 baking tray lined with parchment paper. It is very important to use the parchment paper to avoid the cookies from sticking to the pan, and also to avoid that they brown too quickly on the bottom. Then apply pressure to the piping bag and make a circle on the top left corner of the baking tray. Continue to make equal-sized circles until the tray is full. Again, I was able to fit about 15 cookies in one tray. After the cookies are piped, then sprinkle the top of the cookies with pure cane sugar. I found these to have the best size and flavor for the cookies. Place the baking tray in the fridge. Repeat the same piping process with the second baking tray. As I mentioned earlier, we're using a Wilton 1M piping tip. I found this tip to be the closest in shape to one of the cookies in the blue tin, and I also really like that the shape held the sugar on top really well. You can try different piping tips or even a cookie press if you would like. I was not successful with the cookie press because of the parchment paper, and like I said, I strongly prefer to bake cookies in trays that are lined with parchment paper. Once the tray is full, then sprinkle the cookies with sugar and place them in the fridge. After the first tray has been in the fridge for at least 10 minutes and the oven has reached the desired temperature of 350 degrees, place the first baking tray in the center rack and bake for 15 minutes. I attempted to bake both trays at the same time, but I ended up with the trays not baking equally, so I just decided to bake it one at a time. After the 15 minutes are over, remove the baking tray from the oven and place the second baking tray in the oven and bake for 15 minutes also. While the second batch of cookies is baking, then take the cookies from the first tray and place them on a cooling rack. After the second batch of the cookies is done, remove them from the oven and also place them on a cooling rack. That's it! Enjoy! Well, our cookies are ready and I am super excited. They look so good. Listen to that snap. That buttery, vanilla, and coconut flavor just really comes through. It wasn't until I started doing a lot of research about these cookies that I realized that they have coconut in them, and quite a bit amount of coconut for the recipe that we made today, but they taste so similar to the ones in that blue tin. Reminds me just like going to my great-grandma's house, entering the house, seeing that blue tin, and first of all getting a big hug and a kiss from her. I hope you get to share a cookie today with a very special person, and we'll see you again tomorrow for another episode of Jeff and Joe's Puerto Rican Kitchen. This is day 12 of our quarantine, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Puerto Rican.